Felicitations, my family of fledglings. And ghosts, it's so good to see you as well. My name is Damian Halme, professional disruptor and ghost host with the most. Welcome to the final Wednesday for the time being. Bot, so good of you to join me so timely. It's a weird time. It's a weird time for you to join me. Welcome. Hi. Welcome, as some may say. I said it once on a stream. I don't know what I was thinking. I was super tired. Kind of tired today. Probably should be sleeping right about now. Started stream late. Started not all of my streams because my pathway to TikTok was revoked. They said, no, D, you can't stream to us. And I think it's because I'm not giving them enough games, which is kind of weird because you would think chatting and games would have equal footing, but in TikTok they don't. And because I chat as much as I do, TikTok's like, no. You got to figure something else out. So I have 5 more days. Well, hello, first champion. Stuart, I would love to join you all for repo, but this is going to be a short stream. I'm just chatting, and I will be heading off probably within about an hour. So I'm just saying hi, talking about how tonight's the last Wednesday for the foreseeable future, because I'm quitting Wednesday streaming. It's true. So this is a send-off, and then I'm going to go to sleep at a reasonable hour so that I get some semblance of sleep. Which is crazy that I've been getting reasonable sleep lately. But yeah, I have to bow out of multiplayer gaming, at least on a school night, probably every school night, just to make sure between me and Oz, one of us gets sleep. No problem with that. We should invite you, and sad day for no Wednesday streams. Maybe it might feel sad, but I'm gearing up for important things in 2026 that we can't talk about yet. It's true. Whoa, sleep at a reasonable time. That's crazy. I know. But get this. Most of the summer, I have slept for an average of 3.5 hours a night. And man, I feel productive. I feel like I get many different phases of my life lived. Like every day feels like 3 or 4 days worth of content, productivity, engagement, everything. Just at the detriment of my overall health and well-being and personality. So I'm thinking maybe cut Wednesdays out, at least for the remainder of this year, and see how I do on the health, well-being, personality side of things. That unfortunately means a lot less socialization, which right now, as an extrovert, is killing me. It is. I get that. Each day feels like a whole week in one day. I know, and I love that about not sleeping. But I should sleep. This is a really hard call for me. Hang on, I'm going to go turn on TikTok Live Studio and just see if it works. Because it's not working through Restream anymore. But I want to see if it'll work on its own. So let's find out. Everything looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Gonna go live. And cross my fingers. Hey, it looks like it's doing the thing. Okay, we're live. We're officially live everywhere. Hi and welcome. Yeah, it's happening. Apparently I can't do Restream, but I can still do TikTok Live Studio. Hi, welcome everybody. Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately, last Wednesday, last time we can all chat and hang out and have a discourse, I set no particular subject or title tonight. If y'all want to talk about literally anything, I will answer any question. It's an AMA of sorts. Ask me anything. But it can also just be, vent about your life or bring anything up or bring up a video and I'll react to it. The whole shebang. Yeah, we're here basically just to announce and apologize and be here live so that you're not reading this through a textual post somewhere, which I feel is cold and insensitive. That today is the last Wednesday in the long line of Wednesdays, by the way, I might add, when I started streaming. Wednesday. Oh, Jim, I see your post. Wait, I see you there, but I don't see you everywhere. Hang on. How is it? I think I need to do some things. How is it that I can see you on stream, but I cannot see you every which way that I want to see you? Give me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, Jim. Wednesday will be eliminated from the calendar. Yes, creating a 6-day week. I mean, I'm not killing everybody's Wednesdays, just my own. And I'm not killing them per se so much as I am opening them to other things. Mostly to me getting sleep is what's happening. Is this one even streaming? Or well, I can't tell. I can't tell if it's gonna load. Somebody else will have to figure that out. How rose to a Troa. Hi. It's true. Last Wednesday for a bit. But yeah. Hopefully I can see Jim's posts in my actual chat here in a second. Yeah, Wednesday was one of the days that I streamed right out of the gate when we all started streaming. It's true. Sad day Wednesdays were my favorite. Yeah, I would love to stream on Wednesdays, and I still might find a way to do it during daylight hours, but not at night. And the reason I can't do it at night is because Wednesday nights are a class for the kiddos. They go to school, then they come home, do some homework, eat some food, and go to another class. Right now it's acrobatics. And then they get home late. We have to put them to bed quick. And Thursday mornings are running club before school. We're talking about a 5 and 6-year-old, by the way. We're not talking about high schoolers. So all these like crazy extracurricular activities, I bet you had no idea if you don't have kids. If you have kids, you probably have some idea. If you didn't have kids, I bet you had no idea that extracurriculars and like extended school schedules well outside of the regular school hours are already a thing. So early on, it's real. Hi and welcome. Great to see you. Hi. Thank you for sharing my favorite emoji. I know I say that like every time, but I do mean it. I do mean it. It is a wonderful one. And Sketchy. Hello, Jacket. It's great to see you. It's been a while. I feel like you've come in a couple times and lurked, but not so much more than that. I don't mean to call you out. You never have to. But I'm also going to shout you out because folks, if you don't know Jacket already, aka Sketchy Irishman, you should go check out his channel.
Bollocks.
Oh, you're gonna, oh, something chasing you right now? Look at this place. It's creepy. Where are you?
Oh my god, did I make it? Fuck off, I did not make it.
Oof. Wait, this kind of looks like, what game is this?
Oh my god. I was by a bollicker.
Congratulations. Good stuff. Good stuff. Was that DBD? Let's see. It's fine. I've just had a lot going on. Same. There's a lot we should catch up on. Been lurking on a lot of people lately. I try to, but even the lurking has been hard for me to enterprise on. It's been hard to do a lurk. So I try my best. I know there's a couple of people who I really love and appreciate, and I respect you guys. And I just haven't had time to even show lurk support. Oh, Outlast Trials. I wanted to pick that up, and then I don't think I did. A couple of my friends did. They started it for a little bit, and then they quit pretty quick, unfortunately, because it looks like a game that I think I would very much like. But it's also, I like to play multiplayer games with friends, and if they all drop out, I get very disincentivized, if you know what I mean. But it looks really cool. I also haven't played the Outlast games. I have Outlast 1. Do I have Outlast 2? I may have Outlast 2 as well. Need to look into that. I don't know if I have enough time right now in my repertoire for Spooktober this year to fit the Outlast games. Why is somebody like literally laughing like right next to me? I'm in Final Fantasy because I was doing some marker board stuff and somebody decided to stand right next to me and start a laugh. Akusato. Hello and welcome. I'm also having trouble keeping up lurk energy. I'm just wiped all the time. Yeah, I think 2026, maybe the back half especially, has been a really draining period of our lives. I don't think it's just me. I think a lot of us have hit a lot of walls, have hit a lot of painful discoveries, realizations, hopes dashed. I think there's some hopes dashed this year, all of 2026 perhaps. And even our best strategic minds. Hero kit. And I think even our best strategic minds who have made plans, been the ant instead of the grasshopper for 2026, and have really tried their best to make sure that this year goes smoothly for them because they planned ahead and they saved and they, you know, tried to make all the contingency plans work. It's still a difficult year emotionally, resource-wise, every which way has been painful. What is up, bro? Today is my last Wednesday stream, and this is painful for me because I've been streaming on Wednesdays since the beginning of my streaming, which happened at the end of 2020. So this would be 5 years next month, and I have to say goodbye Wednesdays. And the main reason why is because I promised that I would try my best to get roughly 6 hours of sleep minimum every night. And on Fridays and Saturdays, that's not hard because the kiddos might wake up, but I can give them some food, turn on the TV, and I can get a few more shut-eye, a few more winks. Is that the right term? Is that what old people say? And get a few more winks. But on the Sunday through Thursday circuit, we are up early. We're making food. We're getting kids dressed. We're getting them to extracurriculars in the mornings twice a week. And there's so much pressure to get everything like stat, you know, move fast, get everybody on par. And I can't keep doing 3 hours a night. I was doing it and I was believing that a part of me could sustain this, but this is stupid. I know people who have done 3-hour nights for long periods of their life, and I see where they're at now. I see where they are mentally, mental health, emotional health, physical health, and I don't want to follow in their footsteps. It's time for me to show a little love to myself. And I know that 6 hours is still less than the recommended amount of sleep that a human being gets every night. This is me trying a concession. Yeah, it's 2026. I know, right? It's a Nico. I slept through the rest of 2025. Kit, maybe it's for the best. 2025 was a harsh year. 2026. If I could recommend it, you might want to sleep through 2026 as well. Speaking of people who I want to lurk support and haven't been, I have to make a formal apology to Nico, who I'm about to shout out right now, because you're one of the folks that I used to catch every single stream, at least in lurkdom, for a while. And these last couple weeks, these last couple months during the summer have been crazy. I've been doing extra hour day job, which shall remain nameless, work at night to keep up with bare minimum requirements for me to keep my job because it's under fire, as you and I have spoken of. There have been so many crazy things happening with the living situation, which you and I should talk about, some changes that are happening in 2026. And it's just, yeah, I want to sit in on more of your streams, and I haven't been, and I apologize because that's not fair. You deserve at least one more lurker in your streams every stream, and I need to find a way to make that happen. But with this new schedule shift, aka dropping Wednesdays, maybe this will happen in the future. Let's do a shout out for Nico Crushing. Please go to Twitch and follow him, as well as all of his other socials. His first experience of the Titus laugh.
What the
I've never played this game.
Probably shouldn't laugh anymore.
Yeah, ever again.
I've never played this, and I know this laugh.
Dude, you're embarrassing yourself. Stop.
There it goes. Crazy. What a silly laugh.
Jesus.
But it was an instant memetic classic.
It was your idea.
Being unemployed throughout the whole damn period hasn't helped. No, I don't suspect so. Probably makes time move really weird for you. I would love to sleep through the rest of 2025. Real, you and me both. Seriously, I would love to sleep through the rest of 2025. Sad been busy with high school. Busy can be good though. I think sometimes when you're busy, you feel like you're missing out on a lot. It's frustrating and you wish things would just slow down. But I also feel like when things slow down, you kind of wish that you just had some sort of structure and directive in your life. And so there's kind of an odd mix. Like you always want what you don't have. But between the two, I've been in busy periods and in slow periods. And I feel like I always resent the slow periods more than the busy ones, if that makes sense. When things are slow, I look back at those times less fondly, less proud than the busy times. Less regret. Know what I mean? Yeah. I should try to get more than 4 hours a night. If you're already getting 4 hours, you're already doing better than me. But now that I'm vying for 6, yeah, you're going to have to catch up somehow. I don't know how that happens. Between you and me, yeah, the whole thing with the day job is probably the thing that's wrecking your sleep the most. Or maybe you get off your day job and you're just trying to reclaim some semblance of control in your life. And so you spend it socializing and playing games, which I was also doing a lot during the summer and really fucking myself over. So yeah, that was the thing that was happening. Man, I super thought that I was getting rid of the kickbots and it's just not happening. The kickbots are all over the place tonight. Why is that happening tonight specifically? No need, Daddy-O. No need to lurk. There's always a need. One extra person is always better than 0 extra people, my dude. 10 out of 10 voice acting. It was pretty good. I wonder how the original Japanese was, because that's the American voice actor, right? The Japanese guy has to be doing just as great, though, too. I imagine that that's one of those things like localization. Like, listen to the original and do your best to copy that, because that had to have been an awkward Japanese comedy moment. In fact, I don't give the American voice actor credit. I want to hear the original Japanese. I bet that it started there. That's what I would bet. Dude, this is a graveyard. Feels inappropriate. Wait, what? Were they laughing in a graveyard? I don't know. I've never played the game, so I have no idea. Time out here moves really weird for me. This is true. Slower periods are more memorable as well, so if you're bitter, you're compounding it. That's kind of true, but slow moments when you're happy can be enjoyable, that it feels like it's slow. I do feel like if it's happy but rushed, you're a little bit bitter that time moved too quickly. Some moments that I've had in my life that have been happy ones have generously moved so slowly, creeped along so snail pace that they are like core memories. And I have some core bad memories too. So of course, you know, and I think, honestly, I think it's easier for us to make core bad memories than it is for us to make core good memories. So I'm not going to say too much about the bad because, like, you have a bad moment, time slows down. Almost inevitably, it slows down, and you remember that, and you get frustrated, and you hold that in your book of grudges or whatever. But the good moments, sometimes we just kind of like gloss over them, or we sort of expect them. We're like, yeah, I'm a good person, and people love me, and I deserved this good moment. It was good, and let's move on. And we sort of forget to slow things down and be grateful for the situation. And so when things are really lovely and they slow down on their own, time stops for a moment in a good moment, I think those are worth remembering, making a core memory of. Not that you have I don't know. You might try to like mindfully meditate in some way and say, you know, brain, seal this moment away in glass and preserve it, fill it with formaldehyde and preserve this. There are a few moments where things really did slow down and time stood still, and I've made really wonderful permanent memories out of certain events, and for those I'm grateful. I have a way to get 6+. You have a way. Can we talk about this? You want to let me know? I could take AP classes. Oh yeah, I was there too. Clubs and competitions, 100%. Yeah. I was in AP Writers. I was actually the vice president of Writers Guild. I was a senior. Every school has a different term for this. A senior buddy, a freshman buddy as a senior. Does that make sense? Like somebody who mentors the incoming scrubs and tries to make, well, not multiple, just one. You're like assigned one person, and your whole duty is to like be there as a resource for that guy so that they don't get like picked on or lose their way or, you know, whatever. So I did that. I was a facilitator for, I'm not trying to brag. These are just things that I literally did. So you can take them. You call me a nerd if you want. I was a facilitator for a multicultural event. It was the all school event that sort of tried to help people accept each other's ethnic backgrounds, culture, heritage, socio-political standing, all that sort of thing, because we were a very diverse school. Kind of. 40% of us were diverse. The other 60% were kind of monolithic. But yeah, we were kind of an interesting school demographic. And so I was part of multicultural facilitation. I was a conflict manager, which was a new system my senior year that tried to create a student-led infrastructure before getting faculty involved with conflicts. In other words, two kids get into a fight, there's like throwing punches, or there's screaming or tossing of school materials. The teacher's like, oh, you two go to the principal's office or whatever. And they're like, hang on, there's another system before you go to principal's office, before you see the vice principal or the narcs or whatever. You all know what narcs are, right? And that was the conflict managers. So they would call me if I was available or able to be pulled or whatever. And they would get, or maybe it was only during breaks. I forget how this worked. But I would step in and talk to two students who were fighting, either physically, emotionally, verbally, whatever it happened to be. And I would try to say, you know, if you guys and me can sit and talk this out, the elders, the adults, the people that run the school never have to know. And it worked. It worked because nobody really wants to start talking to adults or start getting their parents involved. If this never happened, everybody's happy, right? So the kids would actually work with the conflict managers to try to get this to work. So that was a pretty cool thing. I did a lot. I was also in zero period a couple of years of high school, which means you go to school before first period and take another class. And in 1 year, I also took a 7th period. We were a 6-period school. So I also took a 7th period. I think it took 1 year was a 0 through 7, which meant I was there early and stayed late, which was insane. And I was also in drama, which sometimes if you had rehearsals, dress rehearsals, just running through lines, whatever it happened to be, sometimes you stayed way the hell late, like super late. Like volunteers were bringing dinner because you weren't going to make it home for dinner, sort of thing. Way too much stuff. What are we talking about? We don't really have a topic set tonight, Tommy. So we're just kind of hanging out, chilling, vibing. Yeah. How are you? I was mentioning some stuff that I did during high school. Jim says, I don't have any kids, but I was a kid once, so I kind of sort of have an idea. Oh, what it's like to have kids? Yeah. Sorry, Jim, just catching up to your chat now because for some reason it's not relaying to the place where I wanted to relay, even though I super wanted to, and I don't know how to make this work, even though it said it would work for me. It is not, and I hate it. What is wrong with me not seeing Jim's chats? Can you, is there anything that's, why is this happening? Live sources. I have no idea what's going on. I'll just try to catch up with chats eventually. Yeah, 2026. Didn't know you were streaming from the future. No, I'm planning. I'm making plans for 2026. Is this school life? School speak? I'm talking about when I was in high school. Yeah. That's what I was talking about. All right, let me catch up with the rest of the chat. More at 11? What do you mean more at 11? Are you good? Wait, it's past 11, my dude. That news joke doesn't make sense right now. Fast pace tends to fly by. I don't like that part. Hi, Kara. There's a game reason for the awkward laugh, so it's not just bad voice acting. Maybe if I actually played that Final Fantasy, I would understand. I do me some savor with the good ones. Savor? Oh, savoring like the good times? Yeah. Married my senior buddy? Aw. I didn't know. I don't think we've ever talked about how you and the mister met. That's super cool. I love that. Of course, my like main squeeze, which wasn't even my like longest relationship in high school, but one who kept like coming back into my life. I did make plans to marry her, and we even like named our kids and the whole shebang. Like we were pretty serious. But you know, by like 16, I was convinced I wanted to be a dad, wanted to be a husband, wanted like, you know, a family life. I wasn't sure what I was going to do or if I was going to be a stay-at-home dad or whatever. No idea, but I at least knew who I wanted to marry and knew how many kids and the whole shebang. Yeah, I was really serious about that part. And what was interesting is my longest relationship in high school, I didn't have all of those plans. We didn't talk about kids or names or anything like that. It was a shorter relationship, but it was more impactful. And she kept coming back into my life year after year after year, which was hard because I felt like a lot of times we would reconnect. I was in a relationship or she was. And so it was like always the wrong timing. I feel like wrong timing is enough to like screw up a lot. And so, you know, it was never meant to be. Not that I'm not happy where I am now, just, you know, misconnection sort of thing. Does he also play Sin County? Wait, does who also play Sin County? What are we talking about? Oh, the senior buddy. Wait, does Kid play Sin County? It's probably for the best. He's kind of pure unhinged chaos in games. That could be fun for Sin, honestly. We met in an AOL chat room for our high school. What? Okay, I guess I'm not. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's really awesome, actually. I love that. I was never in a chat room for my school. I think it would be a lot of fun. I wonder how that would have gone. I did meet a lot of people in online chats, but never my own school people. I feel like everybody that I met that I clicked with, that I vibed with in chats, were from like other cities. And that was frustrating because, you know, first of all, I didn't drive for a long time. My family was like not of the means to even get me a car anyways. So my incentive to learn how to drive was pretty low when I wouldn't be able to go anywhere. And, but also it just meant that like communication or engagement with that person, it was almost like dating somebody from the moon, because like the number of dates that we could go on, the way we could set things up was really like dependent on parentals and weird timing and favors and all this sort of, it was just, yeah, hard to do. Kit and Bean both place in county. Oh, interessante. That might be more calling for me to come back. Okumu's already tried to get me to come back. Lady Nico has mentioned that she wants her dad in county. Oh, there's so many people that would love to see me get back into game, and I don't know how to make it happen on a schedule sort of thing, given how many hours per week that game requires. But it would be nice to bring back at least Niles, because God, I loved playing Niles. Maybe more than every other character that I've ever played. The other ones were fun and like gimmicky, but Niles was a whole ass vibe. You know what I mean? If you ever see the global message about the barefoot beeline riding the rails, one of my characters is conducting that train. Barefoot beeline. Nice. That sounds like a bus thing. Alert train to come say hi. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. So, what else can I say about tonight? I didn't say the most important thing. Now that several of you are here, that have your attention, that we are talking and we are conducting business this evening, we're talking about Wednesday being decommissioned. Wednesday being one of the first streaming nights that I set up as a streamer. And this is funny because Wednesday was never like a peak important night for me, but it has become one for many of you because it's a night that a lot of things sort of pause, plans don't occur, people look for something to do, some way to decompress, some way to change things up, and I loved being that for you guys. I did for so many years. The reason why I chose Wednesday was for none of those reasons. Originally, Nico being the first streamer of our small intrepid group, he picked some days that would work best for him during the week. And then Oz and her brother and his partner all picked days that they would also like to stream and sort of fill and spread out in the week, such that there was very minimal overlap and sort of all time slots were taken in the course of a week, such that if you wanted to watch any one of us, Nico, Oz, her brother, his partner, and me, you could do it every single day of the week. You would never be bereft of content. We would always be producing something. Some of us overlapping, that was okay, but like at least every single day of the week. And so I just waited calmly and patiently for everybody to pick their days, and I just picked what was left, which was Wednesdays and Thursdays. And I even asked permission because there was some overlap. I was like, is it okay if I stream on the same day that you do? Because I would really like, and I need some day. I need some days for myself. And I was like, okay, so yeah, these are what happen. And they're like the two hardest days for people to get to, or easiest because they don't have anything going on those nights or whatever. But like tend to be low bandwidth days. I feel like even though your Friday and Saturday crowds can be large, that's kind of weird because a lot of people have like real life things to do those days. So I found the people who might have real life things on the weekend, but like bored during the week. And other folks got probably larger audiences for streaming on the weekends. But yeah, we changed things up a little bit and moved away from Wednesdays, Thursdays. And I started to add more days. And at one point I was up to 4 days a week. And at one point I was up to 16. hours minimum a week of streaming, 4 hours per stream. And I started cutting back, and I still wasn't getting good sleep. I was just frittering away all of my time and staying up late and socializing on the off stream days and not telling you guys, hey, come check me out on so and so's stream. Just like way too much time awake and busy and occupied and trying different things, trying to be productive or trying to be social, trying to be anything every night whenever the kids were down. And it was killing me. It was slowly draining my life force out of me. So it's time for something a little bit different. Did my music die? I think my music died. Where did my music die? Music! The thing just closed. Wait, no, it didn't. Wait, I just saw it. You're right there. And where are you? What's going on? Oh, it's happening. It's just super quiet. Oh. That's what I get for playing classical music. Sometimes it goes through really quiet moments and I just don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's actually doing music or not. It is. It's just very, very quiet. Yeah, I decided that in planning for 2026, some really big, important things happening next year, that for starters, I needed to really get better sleep, more me under my belt, so that I could be the best me I can be. Now, while that looks like less hours on paper, if I'm quitting Wednesday, that means only 2 days a week. I haven't even described what else is happening to this weekend yet, but we will. What I intend to do is start growing in many other ways so that you will have more than just lives to engage with me on. I know I had to sprint for a couple months of shorts, and that was unsustainable because my day job eventually was like, hey, I thought I told you we could work you crazy, insane hours to keep your job. And then they started to do that. So that's been punitive at best. But 2026 will be incredibly different. And that means other stuff besides lives, which I hope will be cool and well received. I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are too. And the other big thing, might as well just say it now while it's off the top of my head. Live days. My Sundays are also going away, but they're not going away. They're moving. Yeah, let me say my Sundays are moving. So I will officially, going forward, starting this week, be streaming Fridays and Saturdays. The two peak, highest, coolest, badassest days of the week. And I think I'm ready to stream on the badassest days of the week. So you will be here. I will be here every Friday, every Saturday, streaming the same content I used to. Discourses will disappear from the calendar, but we will still be talking in discourse methodology, basically talking about deep topics, philosophy, deep dives, long sidebars, that whole shebang during my gaming nights, which is nothing new. It tends to be the way we game, right? But the Sunday nights, which were Omori and all mother-related games for many, many months, will continue on Fridays. So this is your formal announcement. If you've been watching on Sundays and you really like Omori and you have Friday nights available, I highly recommend you join me on Fridays. Fridays will continue the mother-related games. We might take a pause for Spooktober to play some spooky games, but we'll at least finish Omori, and we're having a good time. That will be Friday nights. Saturday nights will stay the same. Right now, we took a pause from the Myst games so that we can play some spooky games. We're playing My Friendly Neighborhood, which is honestly a really good game that I thought was going to be really stupid, but it's really good. It's actually really good. But playing My Friendly Neighborhood and other spooky games on Saturdays. Friday might join in on the spooky games. And then when Spooktober's done, we'll go back to playing Mother-based games on Friday nights instead of Sundays, and Mist-based games on Saturdays like they've always been. And we just won't have a Wednesday slot any longer. But discourses, deep chats, deep dives, long sidebars, those will still happen on the game nights, just like they happen on Wednesdays, because they literally always have, right? That's nothing new. We've always talked over game nights. You may want to DM Kara. Kara is in stream, or at least was earlier. I don't think she comes on for Wednesdays much since she likes gameplay. Yeah, I think Kara was in earlier. So, yeah. And is already responding back to you. Also, I want to say some of you were here for the last stream. There are a couple of things that I still want to talk about before tonight's stream ends. I'm really doing this as a pretty short, just like PSA. Well, I guess it's a long ass PSA, but a short stream overall. I'm not going to stay here for a long time because I do need sleep. Tomorrow we do have to wake up early. We do have to do running club before school. What's running club? It's honestly literally just track and field for kids, like the basics of track and field, but you have to do it before school starts because that's like the coolest time of the day because we live in Georgia. And so we have to be up crazy extra early on Tuesdays and Thursdays to make that happen. But I have 3 things on my docket that I still have to say. And the first one of those is about last stream. Last stream was Sunday. We were going to do Omori, and then I started super late, and I was just fried mentally. And I was like, you know what, you guys, let's just hang out and chat for a bit about the state of affairs. And we didn't actually get any like gaming to happen. But Omori will continue this Friday. It will. Because I don't have to wake up the next morning so crazy early. But one of the things... by the way, having a troll-free chat is nice. Yes, so that is what we... that's one of the last 3 things I want to talk about before tonight's stream is over. Is Sunday's stream got a little bit wild for my community. And it's different. It's different than I'm used to. It's probably different than you're used to. A number of us who have sort of come and made this our home have, while not made this necessarily a safe space, have made this a space of sort of like-minded, curious, thoughtful, intellectual, and respectful people that, while having different opinions, are willing to debate, fact check, break each other's paradigms on things, and do things generally from a point of view of looking at ideas, not really looking at people or making any points ad hominem. In fact, if anything, if we learn anything about each other, we just find it interesting and curiosity building to learn about one another's lifestyles and how we do things and just the differences that make up the community. That's generally who we are. I sort of leaned on my mods on Sunday to take a look at how things were going because the speed of chat was going a little bit fast for my fried brain that night. And I feel like action wasn't taken maybe as fast as I would have liked, reviewing the chat and seeing how some things got very personal. If things get personal and you feel like you can handle it, don't let me know. Just take care of it yourselves, and that's fine. And I won't fight your battles for you. Because I feel like you should make that choice yourselves. And if my mods aren't stepping in and I'm not stepping in and people are missing it, but that's okay with you, there's probably nothing to say. However, if things get spicy to the point where you wish a mod was acting and they aren't, or I have missed something, whisper me, DM me, do a sound alert, send a what the fuck emoji or whatever, because I have one of those in my list of emojis. Just send me some sort of sign. Like, hey, D, don't you think it's getting a little banhammer up in here? Something. If I'm missing it, and this is not to say I thrust the duties of mod on you, but just maybe more so if you see that I'm missing the mark, because I felt like Sunday missed the mark a little bit. There are certain vibes and mindsets and mentalities about the way certain people communicate with others that we don't need. I don't need that. I don't need that community. I'm not that desperate for one more person, two more people, to the point where they would cause like that kind of cultural shift. We super don't need them. So feel free to, you know, anonymously mention something, privately message me or one of the mods or whatever. And likelihood is we don't even say anything. That person's just gone. And then we just move on with the usual state of affairs. It didn't used to matter almost at all. Literally almost every single ban I've ever had in the history of this channel has been because of a bot. Bots are easy to smell out. You just press the button and they go away. It's not really a big deal. But some things get weird as we grow, I'm sure. And the larger we grow, I'm sure this will continue to take place. So I guess my point just is, I will do my best. The mods will do their best. The bots will probably do their best too. The mods will do their best. And if you see anything slipping through the cracks, don't worry about being the squeaky wheel. If you don't want to do it publicly, send me a DM literally anywhere. Send me a text message if you can. Send me a DM on Discord if you can. Anything that you can do. And the response will probably be swift and apologetic that we missed something like that. Yeah. Our community deserves way better. And the fact that we're based on like a philosophy, an ideology, a guiding group of principles and morals, more so than many other communities, I feel like now's the time to make sure that if any growth happens in a weird sort of way, we identify it as a tumor and it disappears as fast as it can possibly be excised. You know what I mean? I just felt like those guys were trolls and should be timed out at least. Maybe. Yeah. Well, one, I just straight up and banned because after seeing no mod activity for a little bit and the kind of stuff that was like coming off of chat from that one person, I was like, you know what? I don't see the redeeming side. Like, are we all a mixed bag? Sure. Have you ever come on to somebody's stream in a weird mood and just like maybe said some things you wish you hadn't? Sure. I've even done it too. So, you know, I'm pretty forgiving if I see sort of like net neutrality. Like, okay, there's some bad shit coming out of this guy's keyboard, but also some merit. And so maybe they're just having a weird day or just being in a stupid mood or whatever, or decided to be trolly, but I can foresee maybe a future. But outside of that, if I don't see the positive side, bans. They were annoying, but not unbearable until the one threatened Karen. Yeah. And I mean, well, hello, Akumu. Welcome on in. Thank you for the chills. Akumu always lowers my voice. Every time I say hi to Akumu, it's hard to say hi in like my announcer register. I have to lower it down to my normal speaking voice. I know that's funny, but it's true. I turn the camera on and I turn the microphone and the mixer on and everything. And I actually literally raise my voice up so that I have more range of speak. I'm a trained voice actor, so, you know, naturally, like, I like to sit in a place where my expressiveness goes to the maximum. I'm able to sort of do musicality with my voice. I'm able to raise for dramatic reasons, lower for dramatic reasons. It's Oz.
Woogie, woogie, woogie.
These aren't even that sour? No. Are you talking about the boss one? Or what were they called? The end boss? Was that right? What were the ones that we bought that had the levels? Level 3, level 4, all that sort of thing? Are those the ones you're talking about, that they aren't even that sour? That's pathetic if that's the case. Yeah, but I'll say every time Akuma comes on and the wolves howl in my ears and I get into a primal mindset, my voice just lowers down to where it is in my normal speaking voice. And I've had this speaking voice since I was like, God, I want to say like 12. Like 12, I was talking low and deep. And I realized, like, over time, people don't have a register in their ears for certain voices. And so you have to raise your voice to be heard and understood. Like ordering food at a restaurant, the server would be like, excuse me? And they'd like lean over and like get real close to my mouth with their ear. I'd be like, oh, this is awkward. Like, okay, I just want the chicken tenders, please. And so I trained my voice up a little bit to be more understood and just normal ear receiving society levels of hearing. But yeah, my natural voice when I'm not schooling it does drop down. Akuma gets my natural voice out for some reason. I don't know what that is. Can I have my Breton back? Wait, oh, you're talking about a horse? I thought you were talking about like your brother with the British accent, Niles. He's around. He's taking a long sabbatical. Maybe he went back to the UK to try to repair things with his wife for a little bit. Your voice gets sing-songy with me. It's fun. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like everybody gets a slightly different tonality. I connect with each of you in a different way because I do have sort of like a mental shelving for each of your personalities up to probably the Dunbar number, to be honest. That's why I wanted the ghosts I have capped out at the Dunbar. Everybody knows what the Dunbar number is, right? So it's a social science theory. I don't think it's proven that this guy, presumably named Mr. Dunbar, had this theory that the average human can keep a certain amount of people in his inner circle, know their particulars, be intimately connective with a certain group of people. And that number is 150. Beyond 150 or so, it gets much harder to keep track of, to be well connected to. At that point, if you have a lot of friends, they are sort of acquaintances at best. They're really not, you really don't have the capacity to hold on to them at the same deep level, if that makes any sense. It's just a theory, but it's one that I understand the merits of, that if you sort of follow that heuristic, even if it's not true, it does help you focus and get deeper connectivity with those people. And so I do try to keep something like a mental Rolodex of 150 people well connected to me. And, I might not have learned a lot about you over the time that we've connected on live streams or DMs or other social media, but what I do know about you and what I've cyberstalked you and learned, I put together in a dossier, and I maintain, an idea of who you are, what your personality is, and how I engage with you. The sort of Venn diagram of who we are together as two people that, in certain ways, relate deeply, and in other ways differ. And I like that. I really like that connectivity. And so, yeah, I will probably change up a little bit per person. It's just natural. I think we all do. The linguistics term for that, when you meet somebody and your vocality changes, your diction changes, the way you present yourself changes, your posture, your, certain slang might disappear or be added. That's called a sociolect. Lect meaning a way of speaking, and socio from sociology or social. And yeah, it happens to all of us. You get with a certain group of people or a certain single person, and just the way you perceive how you should talk to that person changes everything. Changes the words that come out of your mouth, the thoughts that you share, what things you hide, because that's just as important, how you filter, right? Yeah. I have to have you try these so you understand. Oh no. If you're having me try your sour candy, they can't be that sour. Cyberstalk, there's no way you got anything on me trying that. Do you want to talk in DMs after the show? Also, the little is in the bed. Oh no, I did such a good job making sure that she was completely passed out. We did epic, heavy, snuggle, decompressed time from from acrobatics class tonight because we knew they were late at home and early to wake tomorrow morning for running. And so it was really imperative that they get deep, deep sleeps. And already one of them woke up and moved. You're welcome to attempt. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the permission. I will see what I can do. Oh, right. So, yeah, that was the first big thing. You don't need to do David Alexander as I live and breathe. How are you? Ahoy, Damien. Hope you're well. I am better this last week than I've been for the last few months. There's so much to catch you up on. If you hit me up in DMs, I can sort of like give you the skinny. Or you could just watch the VOD for this live stream because there's a lot of things that have happened. Some of it not great, but big plans for the next year. And yeah, so there's a lot of things in motion, and I hope they're good overall. Unfortunately, it's not like adding in a whole heck of a lot of old point and click puzzles, but good things. I think good things. Just big changes, and a lot of them for positive health sake in my future, which I've definitely been neglecting. I've been in maybe some of my worst health in the last year. Actually, probably since August of last year, 2024, up till now. It might have been like the worst year for health in my, I don't know. I had a previous marriage and a divorce involving. Yeah, there's some things. I'd be curious to see my dossier. Never know what things people can drum up on yet or what is retained over the course of years. Yeah, well, so here's the thing, Troa. It's probably more trivial for folks whose full name I know, and you've been courteous enough to share a lot of personal information with me. So, like, there's some tidbits that are easier for me to gloss. For those of you that don't know, and this is a part of me. I shouldn't say this is not a part of me. This is very much an endemic part of who I am. You all should know that when you appear on my streams and say a hi and we establish a rapport, if you just come on and you talk about the game that we're playing, or you have a couple odd comments and then you leave, or you just do lurk support for most of the stream, there's a good chance that I'm probably not that incentivized to try to like find out who you are or things about you. But I used to cyberstalk for a living with my previous job before my current job. And I was good at it. I used to do it for folks whose identity was maybe more at higher risk than your own. So if on the off shot I learn some significant details about you, one, I will never, I promise you today and going forward, I would never use a live platform, a social media platform, any place where I have any kind of audience anywhere, even an audience of one, to say anything private about anybody who's participated in my community in any way, even a one comment. If I've been curious and I want to learn about you, I'm not going to like dox stuff about you personally. But two, the longer we relate, the higher the chance I will do investigative deep dive to try to learn about who you are. And it's benign. I will tell you straight away today, 100%. I have no reason to lie about this. I like to learn about people. I'm just curious. I may ask you directly, and if I'm nervous or scared to, or if I just want to do things on the DL, I'll cyberstalk you too. And I'll find information about you. You're all welcome to do that about me too. There's lots of stuff about me online. You can just search my name. I'm highly cyberstalkable. The only thing about me that you'll find right out of the gate that I feel is different than a lot of other people is from as I understand it, just in the history of the internet and doing searches on myself, because I think everybody does at some point, is I don't think literally any other person from the Halme family line from Finland ever named a kid Damien. So there's zero there's zero duplicates out there. You can search my name up and down online and there's nobody else. You won't interface with anybody else. It'll start pulling other Halme people who are also famous, who are more famous than me, who are actually famous, I should say. I'm a blip on most people's radar. But most Halmes who made it on the internet are famous. And I'm just like, this little guy. I even have an IMDb, but my IMDb is only populated by projects that decide to report to IMDb, which is frustrating because I have a whole CV full of work that I did for 6 years in Hollywood. And out of that, I think only 2 to 4 things actually populated onto the internet, because most people, they book you, they film, they publish all their information, and they're not looking to add people to their dossier unless you're a big actor, and then it behooves them to do so. But I was not added to a whole bunch of projects that I was actually a part of that I wish I had credits for. And you can't add yourself to credits for a project if the production company didn't do it already, unless you pay IMDb a monthly subscription to do that. I don't really care so much about doing that. I'm not trying to build clout with a bunch of strangers by building a massive IMDb page when I have a real CV that has real gigs on it that I can just share with potential employers. If somebody was hiring or booking for a real gig, I would give them my CV, not my IMDb page. So IMDb is just for, the lay people. Oh, well, sending the best. Likewise, I'm sending the best to you. It's been a long time since we've chatted. So it's great to see you. And I hope everything's been going great in 2025 for you. I know it hasn't been for a lot of people, so I hope good things have been coming about in your life. I have no doubt it's benign, especially since you know pretty well that if you'd ask, you would probably get the same info. Yeah, an idle curiosity thing. For sure. Why wouldn't they include you from the start? Is that a normal thing that happens to people? That stinks. I think the thing is that production companies, they've got a lot going on, right? So from beginning to end, you're talking about building the creative work that you're trying to do, gathering the talent, gathering the money to pay the talent. And those things happen at the same time, gathering talent and the money at the same time. And then you do the whole project, you get everything done. Then it goes through editing. Then it goes through shopping. Because once the thing is cut and ready to publish, you have to find where it's going to be published too. Is this something small mom and pop? Is it going to be a Sundance Festival sort of film? Or is this going to broad release? Is it going to streaming services? All this sort of stuff. And then after the fact, after all that's done and published, then you have your what's the word I'm looking for? Dispersal of everything else, where to post, where to do press releases, who to get up on stage for commentary, go on the late night show, and push your new movie, plug, that's the word I'm looking for, plug your new movie to the masses, and everywhere else. And IMDb is a small part of that. And if you are a big production company and you hired a big named actor, Leo DiCaprio was in this film, naturally one person is assigned probably to just all the socials, and they go log in on IMDb, they tag Leo DiCaprio in this movie. It's important that he shows up in the list of cast, and you do the thing. That's important for many people to accomplish, not necessarily for everybody. And the smaller role you have, the less likely you are to get your name published on anything, even if it just helps diversify or get more eyes on the matter. The smaller the name, the less eyes, right? And the less important it is for you to spend those 5 seconds to type in another name in that list of cast. It's kind of interesting to me the few people that did decide to name me in their projects, and yet there were bigger projects where I was an important integral part of the production, or I was a big voice in something, or I served many roles in something. There was an MMORPG where I did something like somewhere between 5 and 7 different voices across the MMO. And I figured, oh, well, that's, that's worthy. If anything, I'm not just one person. I'm throughout the game in so many different ways. And it just didn't, these things don't necessarily ping if the company doesn't deem it worthy, doesn't deem you worthy of adding. It sucks, but at the same time, these things are all listed somewhere. I have my own, curriculum vitae and all that stuff saved there. So just because it's not everywhere doesn't mean it's not where I am. We've detected inactivity during current live. Wait, what? Interesting. I had an inactive stream on TikTok, but I was live broadcasting. But they said I'm inactive. Is it because I was just staring at the screen and talking? And they decided that wasn't active enough? Huh. Okay, bye. Well, I'm closing that stream. Well, we're down 2 streams. Instagram already died after 1 hour, and TikTok decided to cut me due to inactivity. That's so weird. Well, whatever. This is the life of a multi-streamer. I'm learning this stuff so you all don't have to in your futures. Yeah, we will be cutting soon. There were just a couple other things I wanted to talk about. We did talk about if somebody is affecting you on my streams and mods or I are not acting on it, please let us know and we will immediately. I don't have any desire to stop and assess how somebody's been chatting as to whether or not they should be banned. All I need to see is them picking on somebody else in chat. I'll just ban them. We really don't. I don't need any tumors in my community. I know the internet. What's the word I'm looking for? Foments that kind of behavior. It's a certain anonymity you get. You're sitting at a keyboard with no camera on. You're just text on a screen, and so is the other person you're picking on. So why not just say whatever you feel like and see what happens? And those people are welcome to exist in many folks' communities, and I see that they do. I see some really nasty, rabid communities. I don't need them. I really don't. So I'll kill them early. Because why not? That was one of the 3 things I wanted to say before we ended. I feel like there were 3 things, and yet I'm missing what number 2 was. It was the hair. Yes. So I wish my headphones didn't bog down my hair quite so much, but you might notice that my hair seems to have more wave and body and sort of like format. And I have Oz to thank for that. The other night, was it just last night? I think it was just last night. Oz discovered some like different products and whatnot that would sort of speak to my type of hair as it's growing out. I get oily, but very thin hair. What's the word I'm looking for? The hair strands are thin, but it grows in very thick. And so it looks like, normal hair, but when you like tug on it or like pull or style it or whatever, it's easy to break, especially when it's wet. It breaks very easily because it's very, very fine. But it's very full and fluffy when done right. But because of the oils, sometimes it just wants to like bog down, but it doesn't get oily at the end. So sometimes it bogs down at the top and then gets like bushy at the bottom, which gives me this weird like belled out Lord Farquaad sort of hair, which is, you know, fucking annoying. And she did some things with some different products. Like she scrubbed my hair last night and did some stuff to it. And I feel like it's just at a comfortable like body and waviness. And I sort of get to why back in the day, just because of my like forehead, skin, and hair, why people used to compare me to Heath Ledger. I don't think there's much of anything else comparative wise between the two of us. But I used to get that. And I think, you know, with the amount of like fluff that she introduced with various products and styling techniques, that it's come to a certain level of health that hasn't been for a while, and I'm pleased. So I want to continue with a good, healthy hair regimen. Feels nice, and it's kind of almost to its goal. If I stand up straight, I'm looking to hit my collarbones, which are like right here. So I'm really not that far off from doing the collarbone length hair, and then figuring out, you know, what I want to do as far as like wardrobe and backdrop and the whole shebang. There's a whole bunch of stuff that, you know, over the course of time, I want to invest in to live my full vampire slayer aesthetic on stream. Would be lovely. I almost dressed up in at least the clothing, the one outfit that I have tonight, but it's hot and I came to stream later than I wanted to, and I just didn't. Maybe next time. Maybe Saturday. Maybe Friday, because I'm doing a stream on Friday. So that's number 2. Number 3. My dear friend who I call online to preserve his identity, Sanch, went to Japan and brought me back a couple souvenirs, and one of them was this lovely, oh, you can't see it on the vertical stream, that sucks. It's like right over the edge of the screen if you're watching on vertical, so you have to go to a horizontal stream to see this. But there's a cat who does the beckoning of fortune. And different cats with the beckon do different types of beckon. This one's supposed to beckon good fortune and not just like money, but like fame and yeah, good things. So there's a beckoning cat here that didn't used to be there before. You've probably seen these types in various shops, especially anything sort of Asian based has like these little beckon cats, like come bring in all the goodness. And the other thing that he gifted me from Japan, from his trip to Japan, was I hope I'm saying this right, a Daruma Buddhist monk doll. And these traditionally come with 2 blank eyes, 2 white, vacant, vapid eyes. And the point of these, I'll show you the back of it. There's just like a little egg-shaped back of man with no discerning characteristics. The point of these is you're supposed to fill in the left eye with an eyeball, with an iris or pupil or whatever you want, however fancy you want to get. And while doing so, you internalize, you set a goal in motion, usually a pretty big and important life goal. And the one that I've decided to set for this particular Daruma is the goal of sustainable content creation. That is full-time working on content, paying the bills, and supporting my family, my children, and Oz in this household through content creation. And so I thought that thought and then filled in the eye on the Daruma. That's its left eye. It's probably, I don't know if it's the right orientation for you. When this goal is complete, the right eye will be filled. So that is to say, as long as you see that eye blank, any help you have to offer will be greatly appreciated. Anything you could do, anything I can do, I will be working my butt off to get that other eye full when that eye is full, when the other eye is done, you know, and I know that we are paying the bills, that we can stay here, that we can afford the roof over our house, that we can afford the food in our mouths. Starting in 2026, we're going to be embarking on a crazy endeavor to work off of getting this eye filled to the best of my ability and make sure that my family can be sustained, hopefully 100% via content creation brands. And so I'm going to place this guy behind me on my shelves over here. Somewhere. Maybe down here. Ah! It's kind of full. I don't think this is the place. I think he goes over here, actually. Yeah? Yeah. I think he goes over there. I know on the vertical stream, that means he is unseeable. I apologize. I know that means he's off screen that way. But there's only so much I could do on the vertical. The vertical has to be where it's at for reasons. So when you see that other eye filled, you will know, and I will know, that we did it. We made it. That's pretty neat. I hope so. I hope it'll be very neat. It's definitely an incentive. Every time I look at that doll, I will think, all right, let's get this bread. Let's do this. Let's make this happen. Yeah. That's all I got for you. Does anybody have anything for me in the next couple minutes? Because I'm about to quit stream and go to bed and actually I'm not going to get 6 hours tonight because I talked over what I expected to talk over, but that's okay. We assumed, well, I didn't assume that might happen, but I had a hunch that maybe, just maybe, I might not make it in the course of an hour's time. I'm just underneath an hour and a half, which is fine. I'll get close to 6 hours. Well, close to 5.5 hours, I guess I would say, after brushing my teeth and everything else. Yeah. All right. If you've been watching on Trovo, Kick, or YouTube, we're saying goodnight to you now. Twitch folks, hang out. We're going to go find somebody to raid out to and conclude the stream rather early as the last Wednesday stream for the foreseeable future. Don't think that this is the end of me streaming more than 10 hours a week. My Fridays and Saturdays going forward will be there for... And I'll update this too. This will be on whatever streaming platform you usually watch me on. I will change the streaming information so that somewhere in the About Me section or schedule or whatever, you will see what the new schedule looks like. So you don't have to necessarily be on Discord or any of my secret platforms to know how the new schedule is going forward. It'll be published everywhere I can publish it. But yeah, it's been an honor. It's been almost 5 entire years of streaming on Wednesdays because I was the last one to pick for days out of my core group. And now it's time to change to primetime days for many reasons, not least of which good health and good sleep for the next few months of 2025. And I think this is going to start to move to something really, really good. I hope that you will feel the same way in the next 3 months to come or so. 3 or 4 months of the remaining part of this year, and especially what 2026 ends up looking like. I feel really good about this. I hope you will too. All right. For everybody whose stream is ending right now without a raid, if you are safe, fed, and loved, make sure someone out there is too, please. I will see you all on Friday night for more Omori. Bye.